Right then. Okay, well, look like we're back. So while we've been gone, I think just as I left, Cassell snuck into provisional pole, but Athanasiou has improved. I wasn't slagging him off, but as an esports driver, he should be up there, and he is at a 29.3. So well done to the Ferrari driver taking provisional pole. We have just over a minute and a half left, so people are going out to do their final laps now. If you're not out the pits already, you are not going. Who is first? That is a Ferrari. That's going to be Maradacco then. And we will see what Ferrari can do. Are we going to see a front row lockout there from the Stallions?
I can't see why not. I mean, Maradacco's got the pace as well to be up there.
I certainly think it's plausible. He did have thingy to begin with, but no, they are split by the Haas of Cassell. So that is that. Unless he's on a second lap. No, he's got no battery left. Okay, that's cool. That's going to be Felix just starting. So let's get on to old Pirate himself.
Meanwhile, I'll keep an eye on Nexton because I think he's next across.
Meanwhile, just to point a finger at Sunken Shadow. Ha! 1-0. And I don't think any of the Scots are here, are they?
Not that I'm aware of. I know I was going to say Stuart's at the game, so he's definitely not here.
Yeah. Nexton there then squeezing into P1. It is a Red Bull on the front row. It's been a while since we've seen that. 29.2 there from Nexton. I didn't think Nexton was next. I thought it was Felix, so we are still on with Felix. Mr. Baguette himself comes through the end of Sector 2. He is down on his time. He's going to need a very good Sector 3. Let's move on then. It is a Haas next. It's going to be Gunnar. Gunnar's 4/10 up on his time. That would put him on a 29.9. That would be around 6th or 7th, depending on his hundredths and thousands. Not the cake decoration. Here we go then for the final corner for the Haas driver. Gunnar is going to squeeze himself into P7, a 30 dead. Lost a little bit of time there through Sector 3, but he is, however, in the top 10 for now. The Alpine will be next. Got to be Evan. I've lost it. Mustn't have been an improvement there. Cassell then putting himself on pole. 29.17 thousandths of a second between the Haas and the McLaren that snuck in there that we missed as well. And that looks like
that is it.
Qualifying is over then. So a Haas on pole. When was the last time we saw that? I don't think we've ever seen that, have we? In real life, I mean. Not necessarily on the game.
Kevin Magnussen, Brazil 22.
There we go.
I think.
So we've got a Haas on pole. Cassell, last week's race winner. Last week's commentary, usual basher. You know, slagged us off in the chat. No, I'm only joking. I'm joking. Hands up, joking. So, yeah, we've got Cassell on pole then. We've got Lux in the McLaren in P2 by a mere 7 thousandths of a second. That is very unlucky there. For Lux, Nexton P3, he's been up there all season. Athanasiou and his Ferrari teammate there, Maradacco, 4th and 5th respectively. Big gap though, almost 3/10 between the two Ferraris. Niki Lauda in 6th, Kuzungul in 7th, then Gunnar in P8, Xavi in P9, and Felix is going to round off your top 10. We've got Ricker in the second Alfa Romeo in 11th. Mikey in the Mercedes in 12th. And somebody's pressed the button, so I've run out of time. I think we've got 14 drivers, so there's only 2 people I missed. Right then. Lap de formation. How do you say that in Singapore?
Not a clue.
I can barely say it in English.
The only time I've experienced any form of Singaporean culture was the few hours I spent in the airport.
Going to Dubai?
No, Australia.
Oh, Australia. I was going to say they usually swap over for one of them or the other. Although you can get direct to Dubai, so.
Yeah, we flew Singapore Airlines, so obvious layover destination.
Yeah. Here we go then for the formation lap. As Cassell pulls away and Lux is very close behind. Let's see what we can get on screen. We're going to keep the full track map on. We don't want people's telemetry because it gives away too much information. But for the very start, let's start with the tyres. Only 4 drivers opting for the mediums, Connor. All the rest on hards. How do you make of that?
Well, considering I didn't know what to expect in terms of strategy heading into this anyway, probably seems like a fair choice in terms of making it a slightly easier one stop. I mean, we know tyres this year, there's not as much of a difference in terms of tyre wear and sort of how they act over a stint.
I thought somebody might have chanced the softs expecting safety cars.
Yeah, that is true. There's a lot of potential for it, especially in the section that, yeah, especially in the section that the last few cars are just coming through now.
Yeah.
It's tight and twisty. If anyone hits a wall, then it could be game over for two or 3 cars. However, the removal of this section of chicanes probably means there's going to be fewer incidents than we've had in previous games and seasons.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it was a couple of people crashed under the little bridge, didn't they?
Yeah.
And that is just a roadblock there.
Yeah, I mean, I've had my fair share of crashes under that bridge, so I would know firsthand.
Right, let's see. Can we get a decent camera? That one's not bad. It's on Lux, though. I would like to be behind the pole sitter. So we'll sit on Nexton and see if it stays like that. We've now seen the tyres. And then from race start then, we're going to see the position change. Let's get rid of that. The lights are starting to come on. We've got 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go, boys and girls. There we are. See. So, Guna getting off good ahead of Cousingull. And Cousingull dropping another one. Looks like Lux, Casella side by side through 1 and 2, 3. Casella's kept the lead out of 3. Couple of wobbles there with the cold tyres. No big movers and shakers, though. A couple of ones positions up and down. But everybody through, everybody clean. Nobody seems to have lost a wing either. Very good, very nice. Good start there, D2. Here we go then.
Lovely stuff.
Lovely. That's what we like to see. It's amazing how Singapore can be cleaner than Monza, honestly.
It's just turn one and 2 at Monza, though, isn't it?
Well, it's not, is it? It's turn 1 and 2, turn 4 and 5. turn 7, 8, 9. And then I think I saw somebody in turn 10 as well. Here we are then, out the hairpin. They come down the straight into that very new sector. I'm still convinced they've changed that corner because it's a nightmare to hit it correctly. But here we go. So as they come down this straight, as that little bit of blue there where the house is now, I think that's where you turn in to go round the old piece of track. There was a little bit of a straight, wasn't there, before the chicane. But that is lap 1 over, and Cassell made up 5/10 then in the first lap. Were they both on? They are both on mediums as well, so no tyre advantage. The interval times have got a bit mental, but at least everybody's in the right positions. Again, I think everybody's getting through rather cleanly. Surprised Hammers is at the back, Con. He's usually sort of middle to upper table.
Yeah, not having a brilliant season is Hammers. And
well, I mean, if you look at his record, though, how many times has he been crashed into? It's always Hammers that gets taken out at some point in a race. And I think that's just how his season's gone. He's been so unlucky with collisions. You know, and 9.5 times out of 10, it's somebody else's fault, but he just gets collected in with it. Bog there in 14th, obviously D3 driver. And then Evan, Ricker, Mikey, no big movers. If we have any position changes, only Felix, Mikey and Nicky Lauder have made one position change so far. So nothing too serious off the start. The front two seem to be pulling away a little bit, but Cassell is 1.2 seconds now ahead of Lux in second position, who is then also 1.8 away from Nexton in third.
Yeah, crucially, front two have broken DRS from the rest of the pack, and that's going to aid them a lot in terms of being able to keep this gap.
Sure. Well, I'm just going to get on with Athanasiou now, because that should be the start of the DRS. We're on lap 3. This is a DRS straight usually. Can he make a move? No, he sticks behind. Good choice.
Yeah,
just there.
Showing patience, didn't feel right to make the move and accurately choose to stay behind.
Yep, and we could have a bit of a gap forming then with DRS. Has Kuzengal is over 1 second away from Maridako, but then Guna is a second away from Kuzengal, and Felix is a second and a half away from Guna. So we're going to see a little bit of a clump turning up. We've got first and second, although second is out of the DRS as we said, which is crucial. But then we've got that third down to 6. Here we go again then. Athanasiou is on the outside then for this corner, to the inside for the then left, and he does get past Nexton then out of the chicane, and to finish the lap in the extra position of third on the podium.
Yeah,
provisional podium.
Yeah, Nexton just giving him a bit of a squeeze, but it just wasn't enough. He was just able to hang it around the outside.
Yeah. And Nexton as well already
the second half
is flashing so far. That's not good on lap 4, because Singapore's not a track where the battery comes back very quickly either.
Oh dear! I've just checked the telemetry, as I'm currently the one off screen, and it's not looking good, bruv.
Well, maybe we do get a safety car, and maybe he gets all his battery back. But I think at the minute, any DRS zone, Nexton is going to be a sitting duck.
If people have got the pace and get a good exit, they're gonna have him on toast. Unfortunately, I think.
That is true. Yes, 10K. No, I don't like having telemetry on these streams, because it gives, if anybody else is watching this in the race, it gives them an idea of you know, their batteries and things like that. I will flash it up for, you know, a second or so. Nexton we know is down. Cassell saving very well. Hammer's at the back with a lot of battery. Ricker's really struggling with that battery. Seems to have just lost it all. But yeah, so 2 or 3 pretty much empty. Most people are about halfway. But, you know, you've got another probably 4 cars or so that are on pretty good percentage worth. I don't want anybody getting the upper hand by watching the stream. But we know Nexton is flashing. Here we go again. Can Nicky Lauda... Yeah, exactly. We've just seen him flashing. Can Nicky Lauda take advantage? No, he seems to not just be catching at all to Nexton. He's probably caught maybe a tenth and a half, maybe. But not as much as you'd expect through a long DRS straight. Especially with Nexton not having the battery to pull away and not having the DRS either from Athanasiou ahead of him, who is already 1.7. Pulled that gap, 1.7 from Nexton. Oh, no, wrong button. What have we got then? We've got a little bit of a train. Nobody's too close. Closest is probably Kuzungal on the back of Maridako. Can the Aston Martin get ahead of him on this next lap? I'm surprised they've not put a DRS on that new straight, to be honest. Although they've got one on the home straight, haven't they? They've got one on the pit straight, so... Well, he's not using the battery.
Yeah, that'd be 4 DRS zones if they put one there. Not unheard of, because obviously Australia's got 4. But...
Australia's got 4 now, yeah. Right then, come on. Kuzungal, yeah, it's pretty much the closest car on track. No, Nexton there, side by side with Nicky Lauda. Nicky Lauda's gone for the overtake around the outside. Nexton getting a bit wobbly on the inside. They do touch wheels. Maridako is going to take advantage as well of Nexton's, well, wobble, I suppose. They came side by side, and Nicky Lauda went off track from it, but Nexton stayed on, but he did have a bit of a loose back end. Nobody likes a loose back end. But Maridako does take advantage of it. Looks like Kuzungal may be next to take the Red Bull. You never know. This could be what happens on the weekend, eh?
Potentially, you never know.
I can't see it.
But yeah, just speaking on Kuzungal quickly, as he does take the position off Nexton.
Is he going to have to give that back though? I think he will. Nexton off track there through the chicane. Sorry, Connor, but it looks like a Haas is going to come through. Guna's coming through. Nexton is just a sitting duck. Using all of that ERS so early on has really put him in a struggle. Looks like he's kept ahead of Guna this time. I'm surprised with that. I thought Guna had it, but obviously not. As we come to another lap of DRS, and Nick Lauda is out. Oh. Looks like a solo crash. Just lost his back end through turn 4 and into the wall, just on that left hand side there. Car just disappears, but you can see his wing on the floor. Look, and that is a safety car. Then this is where Nexton then is going to get all his battery back. But this is where I assumed people would have the softs on to try and pull away early on and wait for a safety car to come out and get them changed, because lap 7 is, well, it's perfect, I suppose, isn't it, for a soft tyre change?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we going to see any of the medium runners pit, or is it? I mean, we know it's too early, but how many safety cars do we get on Singapore then?
I mean, Kuzungal up in 5th currently. He's we saw him have a bit of a wobble after his overtake on Nexton, and that's not the first time he's had a wobble. In last couple of laps, I've been on board with him. And,
yeah, he is on them hards though. He might be struggling to just grip them up, but yeah, I don't think anybody will come in unless they've got any damage. It looks like one of the Ferraris is in. It's Atanasio, who is going to go on to fresh mediums.
And Felix is in as well.
Followed him as well, and oh yeah, Guna, yeah. So I've just seen they come out the pit box. Boggy's in as well, and Ricker and Hammers.
Yeah, back three choosing to get off these hards.
All going on to the mediums then, all fresh mediums for all the pits, all the guys that pitted. Cassell probably having a bit of a complaint to himself because he had that gap on Lux. He was comfortably first, and where he might still be first, it's no longer comfortable.
No, especially not when you've got everybody that's pitted behind you on fresh mediums.
Yeah, it's almost.
We'll have to.
Oh, excuse me. Almost half and half.
Yeah, obviously we'll have to stop again. I would imagine, but
yeah, 23 laps on a medium. That'll be a long stint. That, and there's Athanasio especially has gone medium. I think I'm sure he has. In fact, I'll just double check that, but I'm pretty sure he's gone medium. So no, everybody's gone hard to medium. Sorry, yeah. Hammer's had a damaged front wing.
Hard medium.
Hard medium, yeah. I still think there'll need to be another pit stop, but I do think we'll get another safety car later on anyway. So
yeah. Well, we're on lap 8 currently, so that's what 24 laps to go.
24, yeah. We're going to have at least one other.
23 at the line. So you're looking at maybe a stint of 12 and 11 or 12 and 12.
If we can take them that little bit longer,
for mediums for these guys,
we could probably go softs at the end. I suppose it depends on if we do get a safety car, what lap it comes out, and any crashes in between. But I think if you can take the mediums up to maybe lap 23, 24, I think you could throw on a set of softs from there.
Yeah, absolutely. 7 or 8 laps is probably optimum for getting the most out.
Yeah, any more like that, you might as well be running.
Yeah,
like out of the car running. Oh.
But yeah, I would imagine the front 8, especially those on hards, will be committing to one stop still. Obviously, those on hards, it'll be too. You would have thought they'll be thinking it's too early for them to pit, and there'll be another safety car.
Yeah, well, that's the difference, isn't it? It's like you either chance it now and hope for the best for another safety car, or you stay on what you've got, you stick to your strategy that you've got, and just hope everything falls in your favour.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should be in then this lap. The end of lap 9, start of lap 10. Incoming. There we go, there's the notification. Let's hope we get a good restart. Oh, track's gone green on my screen. It's not green yet. It's not. Promise you.
Not quite.
There we go. We're back to it's gone grey. That'll do. It's better than green. Lux and Maridako not really warming their tyres up any. Not like Cassell, who seems to be back and forth. When's the point to go? Is it on the final corner, or would you have gone out of that chicane there? Cassell's waited. Cassell has gone. Clean getaway. We'll get to the back, see what happens. Athanasiou does get past Evan. Then on the restart, looks pretty tidy, pretty clean. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, boys, beautiful. Yeah, I think given the chance, I'd have gone out the chicane, because I think more people would expect you to go on the final corner. Guna there squeezing past Evan. What else have we got? We've got no shifters and movers yet. We'll have to keep an eye on Cassell and see if we can pull away like he did at the race start. That's probably what he's hoping for, at least. Felix on the back of Evan is pretty close.
I mean, the fortunate thing for Cassell and Lux now is that although they're on mediums, they have got a few cars in between.
We've got a yellow. That's the Hammers.
It's Hammers.
He is sideways just before the bridge.
Yeah, not out. Thankfully for him.
Is it damage? It doesn't look like he's got any damage, so I think he may have just lost it a little bit, caught it.
Yeah, can't see any damage.
No, I can't see any damage either. We've got little Mikey and Athanasiou trading places there. Mikey did get ahead for the slightest of moments. Athanasiou is back ahead though, and there is the first penalty of the night for the Red Bull. Oh, excuse me. It's been a long couple of weeks, guys. That's why I've not been here. I had Monza 2 weeks ago, and then I got back, and then I was in work, and it was 42 degrees in the shade in the shop, and I was just dying. Absolutely dying. Just an absolute bucket of sweat for like 8 days in a row. It was disgusting. Some very close racing there by Ricker and Bog. We just caught their little side by side coming through the corner there. Ricker does stay ahead for now. I think it could have been. I think he could have kept it tighter, and Bog could have had the room to manoeuvre. I think Ricker almost kept the corner to himself as if Bog wasn't there, but it wasn't dirty or anything like that. It was just hella close. Kazungle there then with the second penalty of the night. Both drivers on 3 seconds. Cassell not managing to pull away as quickly as he did on the race start, and also going off track there as well. So for the first time tonight, Lux will have the DRS on Cassell. Oh, he's not round, is he? No, there we go, we're still in. There's a yellow.
Yeah, it was Athanasiou. He just went he's sideways
into the side there of Mikey then. Almost 2, maybe even 3 wide almost. No damage caused, but he is sideways and now just at the back. Yeah, Hammers is back in the pits. Maybe he did get slight
contact damage. Made contact through turn 1, did Athanasiou, and then just before turn 4, then got collected.
Ricker on Mikey then was very close, and all of a sudden it wasn't. But we've got the 2 Alfa Romeos fighting. This is what we like to see, teammates. I think when it comes to league racing, there is very little in terms of favoured driver. We've got Nexton is dangerous. I think he has his moments. I think patience is lacking a little bit for the Red Bull driver, but I think he just needs to be a little bit more patient with his opportunities instead of forcing one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice little train forming here. We're looking. Go on, sorry.
Definitely see some promising next to him, but just needs to keep a lid on it a bit sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, it reminds me of Kai and Prize. Both have pace, but both make silly mistakes, and you know, none of them are driving tonight, but they do both make sort of silly mistakes, and both end up on the wrong side of things on a more regular basis than the average driver. Bog there within a couple of tenths now of Mikey. A Red Bull and a Mercedes, you love to see it. Here we go then. Can the Red Bull take advantage? How close is he to view? We're going to be on board with Bog then as he does get side by side. Can't see. Where's the thing here? He is passed as well. He's given the space by Mikey. Good overtake there by Bog. And he does, he gains the position. P9 then.
Just watching up front as Cassell's keeping the gap pretty steady to Lux. It's rough between 6 to 7 tenths. Lux not really gaining much in terms of having DRS really.
Yeah, he's been the same for a couple of laps there, between 6 and 8 altogether really, but here we go then. So we're on lap 14. So what's the optimum pit stop for the medium runners, would you say? Is it about 15 or so?
Yeah. I think if you were doing a medium to hard or hard to medium, I think you'd be looking at around anywhere in the middle few laps really to make a pit stop,
I guess, 14
and you'd be able
16.
to. Yeah, 14 to 16 for mediums would be 16 to 18 for hards.
Alright then. So let's jump on then. There's not really much happening in terms of overtakes. We're going to keep a small eye on the intervals between them, but we're going to stick with Cassell and see if he bites the bullet and does pit then for his mandatory pit stop. Felix there gets past Maridako. I said there was nothing happening and something happens. Commentator's curse, but on myself. Ricker as well is then passed next to him. Of course he is. We're still going to stick with Cassell. Just in case. He has pulled in as well. He has gone. He's bit the bullet, but Lux is going to stay out for at least one more then. So here we go. Lux is in. Everybody else then staying out so far. Has he made... No, sorry, Cassell is in. I said Lux, but Cassell is in and everybody else has stayed out. Is this the correct call then for the Haas driver?
I mean, I'm not entirely sure how powerful the undercut is round here. I have a feeling it's been powerful in previous iterations, so maybe it could be the right call. But this outlap's going to be critical for Cassell in terms of being able to get back through.
Well, the outlap in general is critical. Even if Cassell has a bad outlap, if Lux or Felix has a bad outlap, then he's going to be back up there anyway, I think. Felix, however, is only on them 7-lap old mediums. He did pit under the safety car. And Gunnar up in 4th as well. Pit under the safety car. It looks like everybody that pit under the safety car has made some good moves. Felix in 2nd, Gunnar in 4th, Ricker and Bog then in 6th and 7th. Athanasio obviously had his mistake, went sideways with turn 4, so he's down in 11th, but everybody else then has picked up positions. So it looks like Lux is staying out again though. He is, and the Aston Martin of Felix. We knew that because he would. Maridako stayed out. Cousingle stayed out. Nexton's out. Mikey's out. So Cassell then has gone 2 laps early compared to everybody else. Athanasio and Xavier side by side. Oh, Athanasiou looks like he had a bit of a wobble in the back end there out of turn 3, but he's managed to keep the position. But it will mean that Xavi will get the DRS behind him. Although Athanasiou's got it from Mikey as well, so no moves being made there. From what we can see, Cassell is making big moves in terms of time on Evan in the Alpine. 15 lap hards.
Yeah, I believe
about
he's
9
dropped about
seconds at the
4.5
start of the lap.
seconds already.
Well, I was going to say it was about 9 seconds at the start of this lap, and it's 7.2 and still dropping.
Yeah.
So could well be. That's a very nice chopper cam there. We do like that. Beautiful camera in. Athanasiou then retaking that position. Not retaking, actually. Taking that position. And again he's sideways. And we've had to stop. And the Alfa Romeo's in the back. And we've had a lost wing plate for the Alfa Romeo and the Alpine. Athanasiou again colliding during an overtake. No safety car, no virtual. But we've got 2 cars with broken wings now. And that is not good for any of them.
And Lux has bit the bullet and got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
He has, yeah, he's rushed it. So Cassell then has got to be provisional front runner and by a good margin of time as well. Because he's not going to serve that penalty unless he pits again. He's come out, he's a good 5.5 seconds ahead of Lux then. That's a lot of time gained.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There we go then, everybody pitting. It's people on the older mediums and obviously the select few that have just broke their end plate in the sidewards Ferrari. As they all come back out then. So oldest tyres now is Maridako and Kazungal on them 16 lap hard tyres, but Felix currently leading the race. Gunnar in second as well. D3 driver, second position. It was his brother last time we had a result like that. It was Relia, wasn't it, on the podium in, was it Austria?
I believe. Oh, could have been Austria, but I want to say Spain as well. It could have been.
It could have been. I don't know. It was one of them
Austria,
I was here for, but
it was either Austria or Spain for.
Oh, I think it was Spain actually. I do think it was Spain. Anyway, so yeah, there we go then. D3 making moves then for the Haas of Gunnar. Cassell then new fastest lap on the hard tyres. He's currently P7. We've got the 2 hard runners will probably pit on this lap or next. So that's 2 positions gained. So he'd be P5 then behind the medium runners that pit during the safety car. Bog then is exactly side by side with Ricker. Went off track. A little bit of boot touch in there between the 2 again. Both cars flashing as well. Very low battery. Does pull off the overtake though with a Red Bull driver. And up to 4th position then for Bog. Who once again is a D3 driver. But does need to pit again eventually, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be able to take these another 13 laps, 14 laps.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. So we'll stay on with Maridako. See if Maridako goes into the pits or not. Changes the hards. And he doesn't. Stays out for this lap. What about Kuzungul in the Aston? Nope. He's going to stay out as well. So another lap on the hard tyres. And Felix is now 3 seconds ahead of Gunnar, who is then 5 seconds ahead of Maridako, who is then nearly 4 seconds away from Bog. Lux there with the fastest lap. It's literally between those 2 drivers. Is anything you can do, I can do better. Cassell might be leading, but Lux has got the fastest lap currently. Everybody ahead of him needs to pit again.
looks is close. Was slightly closing the gap there to Cassell. Its gap's dropped to about 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, it's about a second overall from coming out. Athanasiou there with the fastest lap on the new mediums. Obviously had his little sidewards incident with I think it was Xavi and Evan.
Yeah, Xavi and Evan.
They came from behind. Who was he side by side with at the time? Was it Nexton or Mikey? Mikey, I think, wasn't it?
Might have been Mikey. Here
we go then. Again, we're going to see if Maridako does pit. If he does, I mean, it's a big drop. He drops he drops to about 8th, I think, with the timing. Obviously, Hammers is 19 seconds behind Lux there, but Maridako's staying out again. He's trying to push him as far as he can and hope for another safety car. What he doesn't want to do is pit for fresh tyres and then a safety car comes out, because then you're stuck. So I think he's hoping for that, but he's going to have to. He's just going to have to do it at some point. Yep, still only the 3 penalties then. 2 3 seconds and a 5 second. Maridako and Kazingle, sorry. They just swapped as I read that. Kazingle, the only ones who haven't pit, we knew that. Xavi dropping a couple of places there. He's going to pit again. He must have damage. Felix picks up a 3-second penalty to make it 4 drivers with a penalty now. And he's out on his own as well. It's a silly mistake, I think, by the Aston Martin driver. He's 3 seconds away from Guna behind him. He doesn't have to push particularly. Just keep it on track.
Yeah, absolutely. Because now that's gonna invite Guna to not push massively, but just to keep Felix on his toes.
Guna only has to get another 2/10 and he's within that 3 seconds, so it's just made it so much easier for the drivers behind him. That's Cousingle then dropping another couple of places there. Who is now going to pit. There you go. Cousingle is in the pits. Maridako stays out again though, pressing wrong buttons. Cassell is now less than 2/10 behind Ricker ahead of him. In fact, he might just be able to squeeze himself ahead of him, and he does, and his Lux going to as well. That's a side by side. It's a 3-second penalty for Lux. He hasn't managed to get past the Alfa Romeo. Cousingle is dropping. Oh no, he's in the pits. That's okay. So he's dropping places rapidly, but he is in the pits. Remember that. Lux then throws it up the inside of the Alfa Romeo there. Not sure if that was the cleanest of moves or the best place to overtake. However, he does get past and he keeps the chase on for Cassell though. But Cassell has no penalties, which is the main thing. Nexton less than 2/10 as well away from Hammers. Not a good day really for the Mercedes drivers.
Yeah, meanwhile Cassell closing up right to the back of Bogorowski now.
He is, yeah, just breaking that 4/10 mark. Ooh, I do like that camera. That's a good camera. There's a chopper cam now around the hairpin. It's very nice. Very nice indeed.
Still not biting the bullet.
Maridako's still staying out. He is waiting for that safety car. I feel Nexton there deciding against making a move on Hammers. Oh, we're jumping. Evan has left the session. The stream jumped a little bit there. I think he had connection issues and it messed about with it, but it's still going. Is Nexton going to make a move into turn 1 then? No, thinking against that as well. Is this a new Nexton, boys and girls? Probably not, but we'll see. He's probably just waiting for the long straight for the DRS. However, let me have a quick look without giving away too much info. The battery difference is huge between the two drivers. So it's on Hammers to defend. They are side by side. Hammers will have the inside, but Nexton is ahead then. Out of the corner, and Hammers loses the back end. Hammers is round. He's got off track, luckily out of the way. The big gush of smoke off his rear tyres there just to move him out of the way, but it did look like it was... no one else got caught up in that. We've got Athanasiou now has left the session.
Athanasiou's disconnecting.
I don't know what's going on there. We've had Evan left and then he's back, and as Evan joined, Athanasiou left. Maridako still on those hard tyres, trying to keep with the front four, hoping for a safety car. How many? He's been on them since the beginning as well, hasn't he? So he's not done a stop yet as well. This is 22 lap tyres. He's on lap 23. What did we say about softs? 24? He might do. Soft, hard, hard, soft.
Yes. 9 laps he's looking at if he pits now.
Yeah.
Well, this lap.
Yeah. I'd love to know what his tyre wear is, but we can't see that information. Bog is past Maridako. This is going to sound rude, but I don't mean how it sounds. But if Bog's getting past your Maridako, you have to pit. I know he's on the fresher tyres, but in fact, is he on the fresher tyres? They're 15 lap mediums. They're basically dead now.
Yeah, I was going to say there's not much of a difference.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Like, I'm not saying like Bog's not very good, obviously, because he runs the league and he's kicked me out if I did say it. However, you know, you see the medium tyres against the hards and you think they're quicker, but if Bog is on 15 lap mediums, which are going to be pretty much dead now, and he's passing you on those hards must be past worn. That was the point I was getting at. Hammers has chosen to go on the softs at this point. If Maridako goes in, he's got to go on them softs.
Screaming. Yeah, them hards are going to be absolutely screaming.
Yeah, I think he needed to go in about 4 laps ago. He's staying out again. Felix has gone in, putting on the softs. Guna now is leading the race. I mean, I can't see. Guna's not going to do 22 laps on them. Well, it'd be 23, I think, by the time he's finished, wouldn't it, on the mediums? That's going to be a lot.
Yeah, 23.
So he's going to have to pit.
Is he going to be mad enough to chance it, though? Surely not.
Do you know what? I wouldn't put it past any of these drivers, to be honest. I mean, there we go. There's Ricker as well, past Maridako.
Yeah, you've got to go in.
You've got to go in. You've got to just say, all right, it's time. I've tried it. I've chanced it. You know, I was waiting for a safety car. One didn't come. I'm going to have to pit. But he is in a Ferrari, so Ferrari strategists say stay out till the end. Don't change your tyres. So
I would estimate that he'd probably come out just behind Evan.
Well, what's that? It's 6.5 seconds to Felix, and then another 6-ish seconds there to. So that's 12 seconds just to Nexton there. So he may well be 10th. So he'd only lose 4 positions, and he'd be on much fresher tyres. And if he went on the softs as well, the softs are going to be so much quicker than the mediums.
I mean, look at how quickly that gap's dropping from Felix to him as well.
Yeah. What did I say? It was 6.5 seconds. It's 4.5 seconds now. That's 2 seconds in a sector. He is going to go in, but I think he's waited too long. Look at the grain on them tyres, man. I mean, come on. But he is in. He has got the softs on. He's going to be just behind then. Oh, behind Evan, you were correct. I was wrong. There we go then, just behind Evan, but on the fresh softs. Kuzengal and Nexton. Kuzengal gets past nice and easy. I say nice and easy there. Mikey's dropped a couple of places. Hammers then. I tell you what, if anything comes from Hammers' race, he's got to keep that fastest lap, although I think Maridaka will probably take it in the end. If nothing else, Hammers deserves fastest lap just for persevering.
Yeah,
it's been a bit of a
100%.
nightmare. It's been a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
There's Felix past Ricker as well on them softs. 1 lap softs. Guna though, 17 lap mediums, staying out for another. There is 6 to go.
I mean, if he stays out and he can avoid a puncture, he's got third.
Well, this is the thing. I was going to say, yeah, as long as he avoids the puncture, he's podium bound. Don't forget,
Yeah,
Lux has got that
100%.
penalty as well.
Which I would assume is why Castell was pretty much happy to let him pass.
Oh, yeah, probably, because it's a 5-second one as well. It's not even just a 3, it's a 5-second. So, there might be 1.2 between them now, but let's have a quick gander without giving too much away between the two. Yeah, so Castell as well has got a little bit more battery. Lux is in single digits. So Castell's got the battery, so he's got the power to pull back. He needs to get within that DRS zone to make sure. Lux is now heavily catching on Guna, just below a second there. I think he's got more to throw away if he does pit, unless your tyres are, puncture bound. I think he's got more to lose by pitting than he does by staying out. And I think that's the key.
100%.
I mean, Felix as well in 4th place. Might be 11.8 behind, but again, he's got the penalty.
Yeah, so it's technically 14.5, not 11.5.
What am I looking at there? Penalties, yeah. So it is, yeah, it's 14.5 seconds. So all Guna's got to do is stay puncture free. Look after the tyres. You've got at least... Oh, Lux is on 8 seconds, by the way. So even better for both Haas drivers. This could be a Haas 1-2.
Yeah, he did get the other 3 seconds for the track limits a few laps ago.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Then. We could have a Haas 1-2. It looks like we're going to get a Haas 1-2.
Yeah, I mean,
he's just got to keep them tyres. He's just got to look after his tyres now for 5 laps, 4 laps, 5 laps.
Yeah, I mean, Felix is catching, but it's still not.
But he doesn't need
overly.
to. No, Felix. Yeah, sorry, Felix is catching. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, again, Felix has got 3 seconds.
Yeah, he's got 3 seconds, and he's still not catching overly quickly. I know there's still a few laps left, but. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be enough to make up the gap in the last few laps.
Oh, just check on the football, Connor. Shadow's just put Maguire strikes again.
I've just seen it.
Is it typical Maguire?
Get Harry Maguire out of this fucking England team.
Oh, he doesn't deserve to be in any team, does he?
Apologies for the fruity language, but honestly, that's shocking. I really wanted to keep my composure there and not swear, but
but sometimes when it comes to Harry Maguire, I think swearing is more than a viable option. I'm just on with Kuzengal, who is less than 2/10 now behind the Alfa Romeo of Ricker as we start then. Well, I say they start then lap 28. 4 to go. It's side by side. Ricker is off track through turn 2. Kuzengal is going to take position then through turn 3. Both cars flashing as well. So battery gone. Goal. Harry Maguire scored for Scotland in minute 68. That's what's just come up on my phone. Oh, Mikey then with a new fastest lap. I tell you what, it's not been a night for Mercedes, but if one of them can keep a fastest lap, then at least it's something. all these drivers have to do is remain. Gunnar just has to keep his tyres going. Cassell just has to, I mean, he doesn't really have to do anything, does he? He just doesn't have to drop another 6 seconds in 4 laps, which isn't going to happen, I can't, well, unless he makes a mistake.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
Gunnar, however, will be, what is he, 6, 7 something seconds, so he may not get P2. Felix as well now is only 2.5 seconds behind him, but does have a 3-second penalty, so there may only be 3 laps left, but that time has flown down. Come on, Gunnar. I think it's deserved from Gunnar as well. Do you know what I mean? He took the gamble to pit in the safety car, and then he's got to a point where it's like too late to pit now, so he's just had to look after his tyres. But that time from Felix is flying down, and it would be unlucky if he doesn't get that top 3. Oh, Nexton there, Nexton on Ricker, let me see it! Side by side, 1-2, touching boots again there from Nexton to Ricker. Almost pushes him off track. But there's another place lost in the same place on track as well for the Alfa Romeo driver. He is going to have the DRS though. Nexton does well to defend it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's tight through that, and if you're going for an overtake, you have to keep it clean. But it does look like he just pushed him off track there. Just kind of swerved into him with the flow of the track. He just has to pick his moments better. Turn 1, 2, and 3 is just, I don't know. If you're looking for an overtake, you need to pick better than there, I think. Gunnar, yeah, out of the top 3 currently. I think he'll struggle to keep it within 3 seconds of Felix with 2 left to go. The time that's come down since, but only time will tell. Good luck to the Haas driver. We will check back with him, but he is already 1 second down, 2 to go. Closest cars on track then, there are none. Ricker is now 2.3 away from Nexton, so Nexton's pulled away quite nicely. It's a 2.5 there. We've got no close cars on track, Connor. We got nothing.
What a shame.
That's a shame. 2 to go then. Let's stick with the current race leader on track. The McLaren of Lux, who is still a reserve driver, I believe. Or is he taking a full-time seat now?
No, he's not full-time currently.
I think he's another one that the the big boys in the league are keeping an eye on, because he's another one with pace but seems to have the I can't think of the word, the Nexton ability of overtaking without, sorry Nexton, that's the wrong way to put it, but like he's quite forceful with his overtakes, if you like.
Yeah.
Like, they're not bad drivers, that's not what I'm saying, like, at all, but, there is... there are some that kind of force an overtake rather than getting the overtake done.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a bit... it's a little bit aggressive.
Yeah.
Of a
bit of a back-end wobble there from Lux. Out of that corner. Maridacco and Ricker going side by side. I've missed it all now. Just as I got there, it was settled down. Maridacco is ahead of Ricker, so that's another position dropped there for Ricker. I wonder if he's got just a little bit of damage. Like, it doesn't show it when you're on with him, but he's dropped 3 positions in the same amount of laps, maybe even 4. Yeah, see Gunnar 7.2 now away from Felix as well, so he's not going to get on that podium.
No, which is it's a big shame. He did, because like you said, he did deserve it. He's driven a phenomenal race.
Oh, absolutely, you can't fault him. I think it just got to a point where it was like, well, if I pit now, I'm going to be in like 6 or 7, so I'll just carry on where I am and hope for the best. Luckily for him, he's got plenty of time to cousin go behind him, and he doesn't have a penalty unlike the 2 cars behind him. So he'll finish P4, which is always good to reserve in a higher division and get in the points. There we go then. Lux will win the race. However, with the penalties, he will finish P2. Cassell then taking the win for the 2nd week in a row. Felix will round off the podium. Even with his penalty, he'll take that 3rd place. Guna, very, very, very good drive. Very muchly deserved that podium, but it just wasn't to be. I'm sure his tyres are not only screaming, but they are probably crying, screaming, tantrum, having a full-on tantrum at the Haas driver. But he didn't have much of a choice when it got to that point.
Bleeding in pain.
Oh, 100%. They're like a gold-digging wife. They are absolutely going to be draining him of all his resources to be fixed. Cousin Gull then in 5th. Nexton and Bog then 6th and 7th. Red Bull drivers finishing together. Ferrari drivers also finishing together. Maridacco ahead of Athanasiou 8th and 9th. And once again, it's gone off. 10K says he's getting a puncture on his in-lap. So that must be... that was Guna. Is that rain coming down? I thought so, a lap or so ago, but it's not. Like the ground didn't get wet.
It literally started raining with a few corners to go.
There we go then. Haas on a podium. Haas, McLaren and Aston Martin. I tell you what, we dream of podiums like that.
We do.
We do. Although McLaren usually on the top step when we're dreaming. However, there we go. Right, so yeah, Ferrari 8th and 9th for Maridacco and Athanasio. Lil Mikey with the fastest lap rounding off the top 10 in the Mercedes. Ricker in 11th. Evan in 12th. Hammers does come home in 13th with Javi on says he's a +1 lap actually. But I'm sure he finished. And Nicky Lauda is the only car to DNF. What was you saying, Con? Sorry. It just came up and I didn't want to run out of time again.
I don't think I said anything. But I was just about to mention that it's also back-to-back wins for Castell.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I did mention it when he said he'll take 2 in a row. Although, I mean, does he deserve it? He did slag us off last week. He did prefer the other commentators last week. I mean, what are we going to do?
I mean, as impressive as back-to-back wins is, I kind of want to give it to Guna just for that performance.
Driver of the day I think it's definitely Guna. For me, driver of the day is definitely Guna. I don't think driver of the week is carrying on though. Unfortunately, I think it has stopped for this season. I think it was Kieran who was going to be doing it, but he's just not got the time to outside of racing. But yeah, we'll still nominate driver of the days every stream, and I think we're both agreed on the it's got to be Guna.
Oh yeah, absolutely unanimous.
What a drive! I mean, he pitted early under the safety car. Like I say, he's kept it clean. He even led the race for a while. But yeah, I mean, he got to a point where 7? It was like he had to, he had to stay out because he'd have been worse off by pitting. So fair play to Guna, and yeah, that's another round over. We'll be live again tomorrow for Division 1 and Division 3, and then live again on Thursday for Division 4, all Singapore, obviously. I've been Nerdy Average Gamer, and my friend Connor has been down my ear the whole time. Not in a bad way. Just saying. That just means you were the co-commentator. All right, that's going to be it from us, guys. Have a good one.